The Minnesota Wild on a roll, 9-1-2 in their last 12 games. Winners of 4 in a row on home ice, and that momentum has pushed them to within 2 points of the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Minnesota sitting with 61 points in the standings, just 2 behind Calgary as they start play tonight at the Xcel Energy Center with Mike Greenlay. I'm Anthony LaPanta. A lot of players have made a big difference for the Wild during this 12-game stretch. Some of the best players have been at their best, including the captain, Mikko Koivu.
He's one of the best competitors in the game. You can see that when he gets into the offensive zone, the kind of play that he gives you is a guy that just won't be beat. And if he does get the puck taken away from him, he's the kind of guy who'll do anything to get it back. Mikko Koivu has shown great ability to set plays up, doing everything he needs to do to find guys in the offensive zone, but he's also known as an excellent physical and two-way player. And Mike Yeo knows exactly what he has in a captain.
He's a fierce competitor. He, when we were going through a tough time, he was the guy that really took that on his own shoulders, and he's such a proud guy that winning is so important to him that he takes that very personally. And I've been very impressed with the way that he's been able to elevate his play and just night after night playing the game the right way.
Koivu has 5 assists in his last 3 games. He's been a physical presence for Minnesota and now providing scoring punch. Up next, another member of that Wild top line has been razor sharp. We break down the game of Zach Parise. Minnesota Wild Hockey on Fox Sports North is brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By Xcel Energy, responsible by nature. By Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Wild on a roll over their last 12. Not surprising, Zach Parise's been right in the middle of it. 11 points and 3 game-winning goals.
Well, Zach Parise, he's probably a guy who could get away with just being there on skill. But the centerpiece of Zach Parise's game is always his work ethic. You are not going to outwork him. You may beat him every once in a while, but if there's anything to do with effort, he's going to beat you every time. Zach Parise continues to lead this team.
The Wild hoping to keep it rolling on home ice. They welcome the Carolina Hurricanes to the Xcel Energy Center. Face-off is next.
Minnesota has a history of epic love stories. Lakes and the Loon, the Cherry and Spoon, Paul and Minnie, Kids and Shinny, Potlucks and Hot Dish, Boats and a Big Fish.
That's a big fish.
But perhaps the most epic of them all. The Game and the Child, Hockey and the Wild.
I just love the rush.
Minnesota Wild's awesome, so we're gonna win. I love hockey.
Going to the game with my mom.
It's all about winning and winning and winning and winning.
You get to shoot, score,
and victory.
It kind of puts you off the edge of your seat sometimes.
It's all about victory.
The love story continues on Fox Sports North.
Go Wild!
Who doesn't love hockey? Wild and the Hurricanes tonight to celebrate Valentine's Day in St. Paul. Our Northland Ford starting goaltenders.
Well, that is Anton Khudobin. You remember him? He used to be with the Wild, got his start in the National Hockey League with them. He is 6-8-2 on the season, but 4-0-1 in his last 5 decisions. So he has played very well. And what else could you say about Devan Dubnyk that hasn't already been said? 13th consecutive start. He has been a backbone for a resurgence for here and the Minnesota Wild, and continues to play strong in the nets for them.
We're underway in St. Paul. Wild and the Hurricanes. First time these teams have met this year. Play comes into the Minnesota zone. Jordan Staal fires. Kicked out by Dubnyk. And the Wild are back with Pominville at center ice. Pominville tried to play one across for Koivu. Parise would have been in offside. The puck comes back into the Minnesota zone. Staal got it across to Tulosti. Jiri Tulosti behind the net. Gives to Eric Staal. Eric Stahl, Jordan Stahl, and Yuri Tolusti, the top line for the Hurricanes. Canes have it with Tim Gleason. Played it ahead at center, turned back by Suter. Granlund to Vanek just across the Hurricane line. He floats one up and into the netting, out of play.
Well, Mike Gill, last game cautioned against a letdown. This game he knows that he cannot overlook the Hurricanes. And Bill Peters in his first NHL season with the Hurricanes and in his career had a bit of a tough go here with losing a couple players early in the season to injury, and then the Hurricanes trying to find some kind of traction. Have played better lately, 5-2-2 in their last 9.
Fontaine dumps it into the Carolina zone. Puck squirts free out front. Vanek scores! Fontaine's pressure created a loose puck. Granlund to Vanek, and the Wild are on the board first.
Well, we talked about it in our pregame, and that is this line has to provide some depth in scoring, and that is good pressure by Fontaine. He creates a situation where the puck's just jettisoned around the net, and then, of course, you expect Granlund to have great vision, and he finds Vanek with a wide-open, yawning net there. What a beautiful play. Good to see the Wild get that second line going. Fontaine just moving up there this game to provide that very kind of play.
Fontaine and Granlund assist on the Vanek goal, his 11th of the year. And just a minute 15 in, the Wild in front 1-0. Spurgeon escapes Nash along the boards. Puck floated out through neutral ice. Niederreiter hustling after it for Minnesota. He's cut off by Jordan. And the puck played back the other way by Semin at center ice. Alexander Semin into the Minnesota zone. Niederreiter ducks underneath him, couldn't separate him from the puck. Semin tried to center, intercepted by Coyle, and Niederreiter plays it at neutral ice. Wild want to change as the Canes come back through neutral. McClement dumps it into the Minnesota zone. Played it around behind for Dwyer. A centering pass comes loose to the point for a shot. That's wide. McClement in the corner, tied up by Suter. Dwyer is there. He's pinned up against the end wall by the Minnesota defenseman. And now the loose puck picked up by Pominville. Sent it out to neutral, hoping to spring Parisi. Dwyer flips it back into the Minnesota zone. It settles down behind the net where Jonas Brodin will play it for the Wild. Brodin leads the Wild defensive core with a +10 rating so far this year. Veilleux at center ice for Minnesota. Knocked down as the puck reached the Carolina line, and Arakawa had not yet exited the zone when he touched the puck. We get an offside whistle almost 3 minutes in with the Wild in front 1-0.
Well, Thomas Vanek continues to provide the offense that the Wild need. On the last game, had a nice assist on a power play goal, the eventual game winner. That was scored by Zach Parisi, and found himself in a very, very good spot.
Haula just able to strip Stahl of the puck in the Minnesota zone. Now it's Eric Stahl centering, and Scandella is going to take a penalty here for Minnesota. He had Jordan Stahl tied up as he was breaking for the net. Delayed call coming against the Wild, and the Hurricanes here are offside, and we get the whistle. The first power play of the night will go to the visitors.
Scandella got a little too much there of Stahl as he went to the net. He's going to get the puck, and
6 for Minnesota, 2 minutes interference.
Here's the play. Scandella just got the stick up under the arms. Jordan Stahl missed a considerable amount of hockey this year because of a broken leg in training camp, and has been back for 17 games, has 11 points over that stretch, and it's the kind of guy who could score if you give him that kind of lane. Wild with a big kill here.
Stahl wheels and fires. It's off a stick and out of play. Carolina on the power play this year, 23rd in the league. Went 5 games without a power play goal recently. They have scored in 4 of their last 7. The Wild and the Kill have been very good lately. 22 for 22 since the All-Star break. Out to the point, Falk fires. It got through onto Dubnyk, and the Wild able to clear.
Good shot there by Falk. It had traffic, and Dubnyk was able to punch it out. Wild cleared, but Falk is a quarterback in so many ways for this team. Throwing up some points this year because of plays like that.
Falk has it here, works to the middle, fires, it deflects wide. Bouncing puck at the side of the net. Dubnyk got a piece of it. Wild can't clear. Falk for Stahl. Back to Falk. Plays to the point. Lindholm back for Falk. And now it's Lindholm. Lindholm fires. It was blocked by Suter and never reached the net. Hurricanes maintain the offensive zone. Rask for Lindholm. Falk. Down low Stahl. Back to Falk. Gives to Rask along the wall. Falk winds, fires. That was blocked. Koivu has it for Minnesota and flips it into Carolina territory. The Wild want to change. 45 left in the Hurricane power play. Haynes come to center. Into the Minnesota zone. 7 with it along the boards. Tied up along the wall. Puck comes loose at the point. Skinner throws it across. A centering pass. Tipped by 7. Never reached the net. Bayou has it for Minnesota and carries out to center ice. Dumps it into Carolina territory. The Wild will change all 4 killers down to 15 seconds left in the Scandella minor and the subsequent Carolina power play. Skinner into the Minnesota zone. Lost control of the puck. 7 has it along the boards. He's tied up by Suter. Haula has it for the Wild. Scandella's out of the box and back on. And the Wild with another successful penalty kill. Erik Haula catches up with a loose puck. Fires! And it deflects up in the air off of Hudobin. He didn't know where it was. Fortunately for him, it fluttered just wide. Semin plays it ahead for Gerby into the Minnesota zone. Gerby a shot. Goes off the side of the post. Wild able to clear. It comes out to center ice. Hainsey starts it back for Carolina and plays it into the Wild zone. Dubnyk trying to settle it down. Lost control of it. Dwyer threw it off the Wild goaltender. And fortunately for Dubnyk, it landed on the side of the net. Tom Vanek has Minnesota in front with a goal 75 seconds in.
Back to downtown St. Paul. Thomas Vanek has the Wild in front. 1-0 early. Devin Dubnyk, 13th consecutive start. Most of his career spent in Edmonton. This playoff thing kind of new to him. We asked him about his excitement level about being in the playoff push.
Tried to not really think about it, except that the wins feel that much better. The games are more exciting, and afterwards it just feels that much better to kind of be looking around and seeing that we're right in the mix, and then getting a chance to approach the next game and having that that same playoff feeling has been a lot of fun.
Obviously, guys, he's having a lot of fun right now, and of course his teammates have enjoyed getting to know him. Well-liked guy behind the scenes, and obviously they love the wins. He's red hot.
He has a very calm demeanor, but he's a very focused guy as well, and you can just tell by the way he handles himself. And a good way to tell is after a goaltender gives up a goal, what does he look like in the next few minutes of the game? That generally will tell you the kind of demeanor a goaltender has.
I asked Dubnyk today about the role as a #1 guy, where he knows every night when he comes to the rink that he's going to be the starter. Second time in his career he's had that. The strike shortened or lockouts shortened season a couple of years ago. Ralph Kruger made him #1 in Edmonton. He started 37 of the 48 games that year. He rewarded the Oilers with a career-best 92% save percentage, but he said it's a lot easier to maintain your focus on days off when you know the next night you're going to be back in the net.
Yeah, you're really living it at that point. There's no real letdown. It's the consistency, knowing that the next day in practice you need to work on a few things because you're going in the very next night in the game.
Suter has it here for Minnesota. Back to Nate Prosser in his own zone. 7 minutes into the first period. Thomas Vanek with an early goal for the Wild, and Minnesota's in front 1-0. Suter plays it in. Koivu on the forecheck. Parise walks into the circle. His shot blocked. Koivu trying to settle it down. He catches up with the puck along the boards. Plays it in behind. It gets by Pominville, and it's picked up on the far side by Lyles. Out to neutral ice. Collected there by Dumba. Dumba across to Nate Prosser. Prosser cross ice for Pominville. Pominville able to deflect it into the Carolina zone. Parise and Pominville on the forecheck, but the Canes are efficiently out of their zone. And they come to center. Dwyer dumps it into the Wild zone. He heads off on a change. Pominville starts it back for Minnesota. Across for Parise. Waits for the carom off the wall and then dumps it in. Minnesota will complete a change. Ron Hainsey starts it back for Carolina. At center, it's Lindholm. Lindholm, the 5th overall pick for Carolina a couple of years ago in the 2013 draft. Part of a very young second line for them. Skinner 22, Rask 21, Lindholm 20. Making up the second line for Carolina tonight.
Already liking the look of this line. Been into the zone a couple times with an aggressive nature. Fontaine, of course, the new addition to that side, and see if he can continue to set things up. And for both Granlund and Vanek, I've said that Granlund will go into the corners. You've got Fontaine, though, who has an aggressive nature and will go in there with a bit of tenacity and get pucks turned over.
Already saw him force a loose puck. Here's another. Fontaine to Vanek. Second of the night for Vanek, and the Wild lead 2-0.
Well, that was an adjustment that Mike Yeo made today, and it's looking to be very lucrative. Good dump in there. A little scissors move around behind the net. And then watch Vanek after he pots this one. Well, he just puts the gun in the holster. There it is. 2 goals on the night for Thomas Vanek. And that line is alive here. Talked about the Wild needing to see depth in scoring, and well, that line has both goals.
His 12th of the season, second of the game, number 26.
First multi-goal game with the Wild for Thomas Vanek.
Assist to number 14,
They both come in the first 9 minutes here tonight, and the Wild have a 2-goal lead over the Hurricanes. Suter to Brodziak, who relays it out to center, and Falk is back to pick it up for Carolina. Sends it into the Minnesota zone. Suter to Brodin, and now it's Brodziak. Across to Suter, and played ahead at center to Arakaula. Relays it in. Niederreiter's the first man on the loose puck. Niederreiter into the corner, trying to get it to Schrader. Schrader back to Niederreiter. Niederreiter spins away from one man, looking for Coyle, who had just broken for the net. And that results in the puck coming all the way back into the Minnesota zone. Marco Scandella back to retrieve. Coyle deflects to Niederreiter, who plays it out of the zone. Was looking for Schrader, but it's taken away by Jordan Staal. Jordan ahead and offside at the Minnesota line.
Take a look at this second line with updated numbers, and Justin Fontaine, who has 4 goals on the year, a beautiful helper on that last one, and of course Mikael Granlund, who missed a good portion of time with that wrist injury. But Thomas Vanek with 2 goals in this period, and the new look line here for the Wild. Schrader was on that side. Mike Yeo made a quick switch, and it's paid off already for the Wild.
Third time this year, Fontaine has had 2 assists in a game. Parise trying to work his way into the corner. Koivu plays it around behind the net. Parise trying to catch up with it. He knocks his man down. Pominville fires from the wall, and it's held by Hudobin. And we get a whistle just past the halfway point of the first. 2 goals for Thomas Vanek. And the Wild lead the Hurricanes 2-0.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Grayson with your Mall of America Studio Sports Update. You're watching NHL hockey on Fox Sports North. We've got the college variety on Fox Sports North Plus. The Gophers are taking on the Michigan Wolverines on our Plus channel. And now let's go back to St. Paul.
Well, Jeff, the Golden Gophers got a much-needed win last night, the opener of that series against the Wolverines, beating them 6-2. Kyle Rau with a hat trick. Minnesota starting play tonight just 3 points behind Michigan in the Big Ten race. Here the Wild have a pair of goals from former Gopher Thomas Vanek, and they lead Carolina 2-0 just past the halfway point of the first period. Canes come in, Stahl with a drive, and it deflects out of play.
Oh, he had a good look there. That Stahl's been in on a couple of occasions. One, he drew a penalty. This one just didn't get it off in time. Quick little feed to the wing and wind up too much, and you get a player like Brodin who gets a good stick in there and just deflects it out of harm's way. And you can see the frustration after that. Stahl realizing that he needed to take a different approach to that kind of shot.
Puck comes out to the point. Gleason across for Lyles. He didn't get much on his shot. Puck along the boards, played back in, and Prosser is there for Minnesota. Vanek deflects it out to center ice. Granlund threw it across for Fontaine. It deflected off of his stick. And the Hurricanes dump it back in. Prosser back to recover for Minnesota. McClement in on the forecheck. Dumba sent it ahead, but it failed to click with Vanek. It'll be icing against the Wild. February is American Heart Month, and Fox Sports Supports is proud to recognize the American Heart Association's commitment to building healthier lives. Visit foxsportsupports.com for more information. Vanek here for Minnesota. Carries to center ice. Slides one in behind Fontaine. Picked up by Sekera around behind the net. Skinner with it for Carolina. His pass at center intercepted by Niederreiter. And Niederreiter dumps it in for the Wild. Hudobin lost it behind the net. And a backhander by Schrader goes just wide. Niederreiter in behind for Coyle. Coyle the wraparound. And then he flips a backhander wide. Skinner at the Minnesota line as it knocked away by Spurgeon. Schrader picks it up. Back to Spurgeon and across to Scandella. Marco Scandella waits. Doesn't like the passing lane, so he flips it up the boards and into Carolina territory. Jordan back to pick it up. Pass at center, deflects off of Coyle's stick, and it's played with a hand, so we'll get a hand pass whistle and a neutral zone draw. Wild facing Carolina for the first time tonight. That leaves only one team in the league the Wild have not yet seen this season. That's the Washington Capitals. They'll face the Capitals twice between here and the finish. We'll see Carolina again in Raleigh later in the year. Brodin's pass intercepted by Semin, who crosses into the Minnesota zone. And his long one knocked down by Dubnyk. Centering pass hit the back of the net. Brodin trying to pressure. It comes out to the point for a shot. Knocked down by Dubnyk. Not able to catch it cleanly, however, and Carolina maintains the zone, but just for a moment. Mikko Koivu has it there for Minnesota. The Wild captain plays it ahead through neutral ice. Sekera back to pick it up for Carolina. Parise intercepts, taps to Koivu. Koivu spins away. Down the boards, he played it across. It comes to the point for Suter. Parise back to Suter. Suter's long pass tipped by Koivu and then knocked aside by Hudobin. Koivu tried to center. Sekera comes away with it for Carolina. Lost it to Koivu, dumps it back in. The Wild will change. And Falk settles things down for Carolina. Former South St. Paul Packer slides it cross ice. Relayed ahead by Lyles to the Minnesota line.
Wild's forecheck definitely looks pretty good in this hockey game. Just getting pucks turned over because of the pressure.
Here's a chance for Tolusti off the post. Back the other way, Gleason sends it over to Lyles, who dumps it into the Minnesota zone.
That chance was created by a bad bounce. It looks like it caught a skate in the middle of the ice and found itself all the way across, and that's why Tolusti was in all alone on the left side.
Heavy hit by Veilleux, playing an NHL game number 501 here tonight. Dumba carries ahead, reaches center ice, and plays it into the Carolina zone. First man back is Jordan. Jordan, pressured by Vanek, gets it to Gleason. Dwyer has it. Across for Jordan into the Minnesota zone. Jordan fires, that's wide. And the long bounce off the end boards comes all the way out to center. Hainsey across for Jordan. Into the Minnesota zone. Tussle along the end wall. The Hurricanes come away with the puck. Sekera works his way down the boards. Cut off by Brodin. Sekera plays it out to the point. A long shot goes off the end wall. Vanek and Brodin, and now Granlund there for Minnesota. Suter across to Fontaine, and the Wild come to center. Fontaine's pass finds Vanek. Back to Fontaine, who was all alone, but he couldn't handle the pass cleanly.
Well, we've seen the vision by Vanek so many times, and just makes a quick little snap pass, and should have sent in Fontaine all alone, but he couldn't grab that.
Granlund ducks under a Gerby check, comes away with the puck for Minnesota. The Wild will change as Scandella sends it ahead for Schrader. Schrader in. He fires and scores!
Well, if you have a player that can find some of the quiet areas and you can hit him with some speed, watch this. Nice little play, opens himself up for a pass, and he just rifles one over the blocker of Hudobin. Hudobin just didn't close down the hole under his arm. Schrader fires his second with the Wild.
What I'm sure Hudobin would like to have back. I mentioned earlier he had started his career with Minnesota. His first 6 games in the NHL, first 4 starts, came with the Wild back in 2010 and 2011. This is the first time he's ever played against the Minnesota Wild, and so far he's been beaten 3 times on 8 shots. Moments ago, Dubnyk stops Tolusti with help from the post.
The Minnesota Wild's awesome, so we're gonna win. I like it that there's players out there that you can pass to and have fun with.
I love the Wild. Woo! Go Wild! Every time they score, I get a kiss. Eh? Go Wild! Go Wild!
Wild making everybody in the stands happy tonight. 3-0 over the Hurricanes early. A couple of goals by Vanek, another by Schrader. Centering pass here, intercepted by Suter, who starts ahead for the Wild. Suter at center, flips it into the Carolina zone. Niederreiter and Lyles go hard into the wall. Coyle with a shot, saved by Hudobin. Brodin holds his own for Minnesota. Niederreiter in behind the net. Pinned up against the boards by Lyles. Coyle joins the fight, and the puck controlled by the Hurricanes. Tolusti comes to center. His pass too far for Stahl, and icing will be called against Carolina. Our Toyota Key stat shows you just how good the Central Division has been this year. Easily the best winning percentage among the 4 divisions. You can see the average points in the standings per team significantly higher than any of the other divisions in the NHL.
I think there were high expectations. Nashville, I believe, kind of blew that up a little bit. They were not considered to be the top team in the National Hockey League. Everyone felt they would be good, but my goodness, they've skewed the numbers even further. And the Wild have plenty of divisional opponents the rest of the way.
Koivu taken down by Stahl. Going to be a penalty against Carolina, and Minnesota will go on the power play for the first time with a chance to add to a 3-goal lead.
Carolina 11, 2 minutes for Tripp.
Carolina right now sitting near the bottom of the NHL, but they've been playing much better hockey lately. You mentioned 5-2-2 in their last 9, 9-4-3, and a big part of that has been their penalty kill. Over the last 21 games, they've allowed only 2 power play goals. Wild power play, hoping to stay on a roll. Since the first couple of weeks of the season, Minnesota's power play has been among the top third of the league. 9 power play goals in their last 12 games as they start here. Suter dropped it back for Pominville, just off target. Pominville has to go back to recover. Suter leaves it for Koivu, and Koivu comes to center. Pominville hands it off to Vanek. His pass hit a skate and comes back out to neutral ice. First half minute gone in the Wild power play. Suter to Koivu. Koivu to Parise. And back to Koivu. He goes to the point for Suter. Suter across to Pominville. Back to Suter. Parise. Trade spots with Pominville. Parise sets up along the half wall. Into the corner for Koivu. Koivu looking for Vanek out front, and Vanek hammers one off the post. Parise works his way into the circle. Down low, Koivu. Koivu to Pominville. Was off his skate. Couldn't get the one-timer away. Pominville spins away from trouble. Gives to Vanek along the boards. Pominville back to Vanek. Vanek patiently looking. Leaves it for Pominville. Pominville to Suter. Suter to Pominville. He fires. Tipped by Vanek and kicked out by Hudobin. Half a minute left.
Deflected it, but deflected it back in towards the goal pad of Hudobin. I don't know how much room he had on the other side of the skate, but a nice touch anyway. The Wild moving the puck around very well.
Charlie Coyle works his way in, and Hudobin stops him. Brilliant zone entry by Charlie Coyle on the play. Granlund down the wall. Final seconds of the power play. Granlund in the circle, trying to get it to Coyle. Stahl's back. The Hurricanes are at full strength. Niederreiter to Spurgeon for Dumba. Dumba fires, and it was blocked by Stahl. Canes start back. Kirby races ahead. Into the Minnesota zone. Drops for Stahl. He tried to center, and it was broken up by Niederreiter. Nash back out to the point. Hainsey's shot hit a skate. Winds up in the corner. Knocked out of the air there by Dumba. Dumba ahead for Niederreiter. And across for Spurgeon. Spurgeon to Coyle. He's hit right in front of the Minnesota bench. Palusti tied up by Granlund. And it finally squirts free. Jordan into the Minnesota zone. Across to Jordan Stahl. Dumba fell. Jordan Stahl's shot goes off the end wall. Palusti fires, and that deflects and then bounces wide. Spurgeon intercepts in the corner. Ahead behind Niederreiter and all the way down. And we will get an icing call against the Wild with 15 seconds left. Watch this chance for Charlie Coyle.
We don't see him make these kind of moves too often, but what a great move around the defender and just caught Hudobin in the hip. Hudobin thought it was going a little bit higher than it did.
Almost looked like Hudobin thought he was going to go to the other side of the net.
Well, I didn't want to say that because that would be unconscionable. I just don't know how a goaltender could look one way. And
kick save Dubnyk, but they score on the rebound. McClement took the first shot. Dubnyk kicked it out, and Nestrashil taps it into the empty net. Hurricanes are on the board with 10 seconds left in the first period.
a little play in front, and this one just comes banking off of the goaltender, Dubnyk, and boy, and he almost threw it back into Dubnyk. He had a whole net to shoot at. He ends up putting it back in the corner where Dubnyk's sitting at, but still is able to find its way into the net.
Outside whistle with 4 seconds left in the period. Very good start for the Wild tonight. But Carolina mutes that just a bit with a goal with 10 seconds left in the period. And after the first 20 here at the XL Energy Center, the Wild have a 3-1 lead.
Well, I like the fact that the Wild got production from that line that was newly made with Justin Fontaine stepping up. Of course, Vanek with a couple of goals. Good to see. And Jordan Schrader, well, he's not going to be denied. Stepped in with a lot of speed and fired one home. Good to see the Wild coming out with good pressure in the first period.
CenturyLink linked to what's next. We'll have a prep hockey update during the first intermission. But first, Kevin Gord will chat with the man who scored twice in the first period for the Wild, Thomas Vanek. Wild 3, Hurricanes 1 after 1 in St. Paul.
Getting ready for period number 2, Andrew Burnett, the Wild assistant coach, joins us. Aside from the 2-goal lead, what did you like about that first period?
Well, there wasn't much to like besides giving up a late goal there at the end. You know, those ones you don't like to give up, but I really like what we did. Got contributions from some different players here tonight, which is huge for us.
Good luck in the next 2 periods.
Thanks, K-Train.
There he goes, Andrew Burnett and the Wild up 2, guys. Take it away.
Thank you, K-Train. Wild with some production from their second and third line. The top line that we've talked about has had such a great run with Koivu, Parise, and Pominville. 2 shots in that first period. The Granlund line with Vanek and Fontaine, 5 shots. Boyle's line with 4. Defensemen had 4 collectively, so getting some shots on goal from the depth of your lineup, and as we mentioned, the 3 goals coming from the second and third lines.
Icing waved off here. Good hustle by Toulouse on the play. Parise across to Spurgeon. Spurgeon comes to center, hits the Hurricane line, threads one through for Koivu, who tried to tap it back to Pominville. Intercepted by Stahl, and now Toulouse 2-on-2 at center. Sidesteps a broken stick. Cross-ice pass tipped by Parise. And Parise leads it back out for Minnesota. Taken away briefly by Stahl. Parise tried to get it to Pominville. And that was just off target. Spurgeon taps it ahead. Pominville relays it in on goal. Wild in the midst of a change. Hainsey back to pick it up for Carolina. Nash to Semin at the Minnesota line, and it's offside. Semin, a 42-point scorer last year. 22 goals, 20 assists. This year, limited to just 11 points so far.
Now, there's been a dip in a lot of the production for the Hurricanes this year. It's been a tough year, but we talked about Falk. He's actually elevated his production. He's already at 32 points. Justin Falk had 32 last year. He's doubled his goal production from 5 to 10. So he has tried to bring his game up, but this is a team that right now is probably in the selling department when it comes to the deadline in a few weeks.
There's very little doubt. There's been several articles written in the Carolina area about the fact that this club has a couple of potential unrestricted free agents that will very likely be dealt. Sekera and Toulouse, the 2 that are always at the top of the list.
Now Sekera unrestricted. There's Ward. He is, when healthy, he's a very good goaltender, but the when healthy portion of that is what's been difficult for him and this team. Last year missed 37 games. Did Cam Ward. The last 27 of the season with an MCL sprain, and it's always tough.
You mentioned Justin Falk. He's had an outstanding season so far. 9th among all defensemen with 10 goals, already setting a career high in that department.
You know, it's great to see him elevate his game. Just signed a 6-year extension last March. So he's obviously a cornerstone that they will look to build around. But they are clearly a team that will maybe even, as we said, in a few weeks, start building for the future.
Had a little magic in this building. Won a national championship here with the UMD Bulldogs as a freshman. Beated Michigan in overtime here at the XL Energy Center. He had 3 assists in their semifinal win against Notre Dame. So did Wild winger Justin Fontaine. Shot got through. Kicked out by Dubnyk. Wild unable to clear. Fontaine nearly came away with that puck, but Falk got just enough of it. Granlund carries in. Drops it for Vanek. Vanek spins away from a check. Goes across to Prosser. He scores! Puck crossed the line in slow motion. But Prosser has the goal. Vanek the assist, and the Wild lead 4-1.
Prosser gets right in tight. Early drop there by Hudobin, but he just gets a lot of bad luck off of Falk's stick. We're just singing the praises of the defenseman, and he gets an unlucky hop. Clearly going back door to Granlund, but it didn't make it. Gets himself his second of the year.
Prosser snaps an 11-game string without a point. And the Wild,
assist to number 26, Thomas
with a 3-goal lead for the second time. Vanek and Granlund assist for Minnesota.
Prosser from Vanek and Granlund at 2:16 for the Wild.
Big night for each of those guys. Second assist for Granlund. Third point for Vanek.
Last goal for Prosser was in New York this year.
Jordan Schrader comes to the Carolina line, dumps it in. Minnesota will change. Hudobin's pass out of the reach of Falk. Coyle finds Parise in the corner. Parise to Scandella for a shot. That goes off the end glass. Spurgeon to Pominville. Pominville goes to the point. Scandella. And now Parise. His pass over the head of Spurgeon. Koivu knocked to the ice in the corner. Penalty coming against Sekera on the play. Pominville across to Spurgeon. Spurgeon circles the net. Looking, waiting. Parise out front. Pominville to the middle. Scandella drive. Save Hudobin. And the cross-checking call comes, putting Minnesota on the power play.
One of those dangerous hits that... Oh, they're going to put Mikko in there too. Koivu must have been jawing at him.
Number 4, 2 minutes for cross-check. Number 9 for Minnesota's got 2 minutes for embellishment.
Really? That's interesting. Take a look at the hit. They feel that maybe he left his feet easier than he should have. When you hit across the shoulder blades, Mike Yeo certainly doesn't agree with that, but he's got an even up call here, so no one gets the advantage.
What's interesting is if they were going to call the embellishment, why didn't they blow the play dead immediately?
And it might have been, the other referee that came over and said, hey, by the way, I got the other guy for this. It just may have not been a quick communication, and that's why it kept going. That's the only thing I could think of.
Have been assessed. Carolina for 4 on.
So Koivu and Sekera each go. It's 4 on 4.
Number 9 become Koivu, 2 minutes for embellishment.
Nash into the Minnesota zone.
Carolina cross-checking. Koivu, Minnesota.
He goes down in the corner. The loose puck controlled by Brodin. It's a 3-on-2 rush at center. Granlund hits the Carolina line. Tried to spin one back to Parise, but it rolled off the end of his stick, and it's covered by Hudobin.
Wild in very good control of this hockey game. Hudobin looking like he's, well, not finding the puck very easily, dropping early on shots. It just, he's had a pretty good stretch here. 4-0-1 in his last 5 decisions, but he did get yanked out of a game against St. Louis in that stretch where he didn't get a decision because they were able to come back and, well, eventually lose in a extra frame, but the fact is that right now he looks like he's kind of guessing on a couple of them. The Wild just continue to forecheck.
Coyle to Pominville, drops it back. Spurgeon fakes the shot, then fires, and it was deflected wide. Carolina has it at center. Lyles turned it over at the Minnesota line. Scandella to Pominville, but it fails to click. Pominville thought it was going to be icing, headed off. And instead the play stays alive. Spurgeon got it to Brodin, could not clear. Stahl, center, Skinner scores. And Carolina again cuts the Minnesota lead to 2.
Didn't know whether Skinner would even play in this one because in warm-ups took a puck in the ear. But he gets in position, and this is just an errant clear here. Brodin gets jammed up along the boards, and then it's just fed back the other way. Stahl with a quick little feed for the one-timer. So the Wild have to be careful. It's not the kind of play that they want to get into, the really loose kind of play where pucks are getting pitched all over the place. But a game like this, it's easy to get into loose play and bad habits. And facing the road trip that they're going to next week, they do not want to get into those kind of habits.
Granlund starts ahead for Minnesota. Granlund still with it into the Carolina zone. Tried to center for Vanek. Turned back the other way by Jordan. Jordan just earned his first NHL point with a helper on the Skinner goal. Dubnyk sets it up behind the Minnesota goal. Dumba ahead for Koivu, and Koivu floats it in from center. McClement tapped it ahead. Koivu intercepts to Parise. He was all alone behind the defense, but lost his balance as he went to catch the pass from Koivu. Into the corner, Marco Scandella there for Minnesota. Lost control of the puck, and a block shot by Koivu took away a scoring chance from Lindholm.
Another loose play there where the forecheck just created a turnover for the Wild. The Wild have turned the puck over a couple times here. Just cannot get into that flow.
They score again on a long shot from the point by Falk. Looked like it changed direction on the way, and Carolina has cut it to 4-3.
Well, exactly why. And this whole sequence was created by another turnover. It required a block shot by Koivu, but then the cycle began. And a shot and a bit of a deflection in front, and all of a sudden a one-goal game. But the Wild continue to play a fairly loose style now. They had a 4-1 lead, and now they have a 4-3 lead after this gets fired from the point, and I don't know who it caught. But now the Wild have to pick the pace back up.
Suter ahead through neutral ice. Haula into the Carolina zone. Hudobin to play it. Haula pokes it away. Brodziak tried to get it to Veilleux, who was all alone in the slot. Loose puck bounces down and finally controlled by Gerby. Suter back into the Minnesota zone. Up the boards, unable to get it up the wall past Nash. And Brodin has it for Minnesota. Brodziak ahead at center, knocked down there by Sekera. Semin works his way in for the Canes. Semin spins away from Suter, drops it back to the point. The shot was blocked. Hainsey another try, and Dubnyk doesn't like the traffic in front. He'll cover. Couple of goals for Carolina. Lindholm tips in the Falk shot from the point, and Carolina has cut the Minnesota lead to a single goal. 4-3 Wild. Minnesota starting play tonight, 2 behind Calgary, 5 behind Winnipeg in the West. Dallas just a point behind Minnesota, but our Sanford Health injury report shows you that they got some bad news.
Yeah, this is horrible for them. The 29 goals, as you can see, tied for 4th. He has 59 points, which is 3rd in the National Hockey League behind Kane and Voracek. And the Stars can ill afford to have a guy like that out of the lineup, and I'm sure they're hoping it's the 3, not the 6 weeks. It's a pretty big window, but you're going to have to find the depth in their lineup.
Dallas facing Colorado in a very important game tonight. Winnipeg is in Detroit. Red Wings and Jets are locked up in a tie. Los Angeles and Calgary will both be in action later on tonight. Charlie Coyle works his way to the outside. Calgary will face Vancouver. All the Western Conference contenders will be in action tonight. Niederreiter is going to take a penalty here for Minnesota, and Carolina will go on the power play with a chance to tie the game.
Minnesota number 22, 4 minutes, double minor for high stick.
Oh boy, they're really giving it to him. I didn't see if Hainsey had a cut, but the stick comes up and just whacks him on the upper lip and up through the nose area. And if he had blood coming down, and that's why they got the double minor. I didn't see any. Wild don't want to make this an interesting hockey game. Right now it's becoming one.
Shot by Lyles, blocked by Veilleux, and the Wild penalty killers will be tested here, short for 4 minutes.
Well, Stéphane Veilleux, who's recently called, played the 500th and now his 501st NHL game. His energy, obviously, but also his penalty killing ability. And it's going to be looked upon right here with this double minor.
Veilleux pressures. Lyles starts ahead. Reaches center ice, sidesteps a check, got it to Stahl. Stahl drops it back. 7 fires. Dubnyk with a save. Skinner on the rebound. Had it blocked by Brodin. Out to the point. Sekera gives to Lyles. Back to Sekera. His shot goes off the end glass. Veilleux relays to the line. Not out. Sekera holds. His shot appeared to get through to Dubnyk, and that steered aside. Sekera with another shot, and it deflects off of Koivu and out of play.
Yeah, Dubnyk got his blocker on that one. Some of the Hurricanes are in so tight on him that he's punching pucks by them. And the Wild are able to get to them that way. Dubnyk still getting to the ice that he wants to, and that's the white ice on the top of his crease. He's able to get out there and cut the angle. That's good. They're not pressuring him so much that he can't get out.
Tipped out to center. Haula applies pressure. Falk retreats back into his own zone. Justin Falk. Mentioned earlier, won a national title in this building with the UMD Bulldogs. Played his high school hockey at least a couple of years at South St. Paul. Left after his sophomore year to go to the U.S. National Development Program. Falk working his way up the backside as Lindholm feeds the point. Lindholm takes it back. Watched by Haula. His shot right into the midsection of Dubnyk with 2.5 minutes left in the power play.
Well, if there's any one guy that can calm things down, it's your goaltender. Dubnyk now will be pressed into that duty. They were up 4-1. Now they have a 1-goal lead and some considerable time here to kill off of the penalty, the double minor to Niederreiter. So your goaltender, he can be your hero. We've talked a lot about the goaltender being your best penalty killer. Well, he also has to settle this game down for the Wild.
Hurricanes come to center with Lyles. He drops it back. Sekera to Lyles at the point. Suter knocks it away, and Parise relays it all the way down. And the Wild are halfway through the penalty kill at the halfway point of the game. Sekera plays it back for Skinner into the Minnesota zone. Skinner has it knocked away, and Brodin with a clear. Didn't get it the length of the ice. It hit one of the linesmen who's shaken up on the play. Steve Miller looked like he may have caught that one in the hand. Skinner carries in. Dumped by Scandella, and Prosser drives one around the boards and all the way down.
Well, if it's his hand that he drops a puck with, the other linesmen will likely be doing a lot of the face-offs from now on.
Falk plays it into the corner. Talusti to Stahl. He's watched by Haula. 75 in the power play. Talusti gives it back to Eric Stahl. Out to the point for Falk. Eric Stahl centers. It was tipped, and then it dribbles just wide. Talusti has it. Eric Haula hustles over. Cannot get it out of the zone. The long shot from the point is held by Dubnyk. Prosser exchanging some jabs with Eric Stahl after the play.
Well, Stahl not very aggressively, but still tapped the pads of Dubnyk after he made the save, and Prosser, as I mentioned in our pregame show, he's got a little bit of an edge to him sometimes, and here's that clear that caught the linesman. You can see that he is immediately shaking that right hand. A timeout has been taken.
Carolina takes its timeout.
Hurricanes want to rest their big guns. And you can see Miller checking out his hand. I think that puck caught him. Caught him with a little velocity. The Stadium Series outdoor game is coming to the state of hockey next season. The Wild will host the Blackhawks at TCF Bank Stadium in February 2016. Your best chance to get tickets is to purchase Wild season tickets next year. Call 651-222-WILD or visit tickets.wild.com for details.
Well, we'll see if linesman that got hit in the hand will drop a puck at any point. He isn't right now.
Draw controlled by the Hurricanes. Sekera to Skinner. Skinner with one goal already tonight. Sekera back to Skinner. Skinner shot blocked by Brodin. Sekera trying to hold. He does. Lyles in off the end boards for Jordan Stahl. Back to Lyles. Lyles into the circle. Plays it to the weak side for Skinner. It's deflected to the line. Sekera holds. Interesting that after the timeout, Carolina didn't come back with the same personnel. They switched to their other power play unit. Lyles to Sekera. Back to Lyles for a shot. Blocked by Suter. And Brodziak clears for Minnesota. And they're down to 10 seconds in what was a 4-minute Carolina power play. Lyles comes to center. Niederreiter's back on. And the Wild have killed 25 in a row. Parise. Koivu and then Niederreiter got it out to center. Koivu pokes it to keep it alive. Scandella back in his own zone. Across to Spurgeon. Spurgeon cross ice. Sends Parise in. Parise fires. Kicked out by Hudobin. Gerby pressured by Koivu. Koivu taps to Parise. Parise tried to get it to Pominville. That was broken up by Falk. Wild dump it in. They're changing as Gerby carries to the Wild line. Gerby spins away from Dumba. Centers it. It was tipped out front. Never reached the net. McClement plays it around behind. Jordan spins away from Vanek. His pass deflects in off the end glass. Brandlin there for Minnesota. Lost control of the puck. And a point-blank chance. Knocked down by Dubnyk. He robbed Pat Dwyer, who had the puck pop onto his stick from 10 feet out. 4-3 Minnesota.
Welcome back to downtown St. Paul. 4-3 Wild lead on the bench with Wild forward Charlie Quill. Carolina had momentum. They had that 4-minute power play. You get the penalty kill. How much does that give your team a lift?
That's huge. Big opportunity for them, and we shut it down. So we're just looking to keep doing that, play good defensively, and just bring them back to them.
Good luck, Charlie.
Thank you.
Guys, up to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Wild are back at full strength after that 4-minute kill. Penalty killers 3 for 3 tonight. 25 for 25 since the All-Star break. Schrader tried to redirect out front. Canes come back. Jordan dumps it into the Wild zone. Dubnyk to play it. Niederreiter across to Charlie Coyle. Coyle floated one in. Schrader was breaking up the wing. It's turned back out to center, and now Schrader has it. Into the Carolina zone. Stahl to Hainsey. Wild will change as the Hurricanes regroup in their own zone. Fontaine got a piece of it. Couldn't quite control the interception. Now Vanek carries into the Carolina zone. Granlund just pinched off the puck by Hainsey. Fontaine joins the battle. Granlund has the puck. Tied up by Jordan. And it winds up in the far corner for Jay McClement. Physical winger who's been bringing some offense lately for Carolina. 6 points in his last 11 after 1 point in the previous 16. Vanek centered it. Chance for Granlund. Now Fontaine to Granlund along the boards. Granlund trying to escape Jordan. Plays it behind the net. Fontaine was looking for Vanek. That was behind him. Vanek comes away with a loose puck. Vanek to Granlund just off the heel of the stick. Fontaine trying to squeeze through a check. Hurricanes come back to center. And Nestrashil, who scored their first goal tonight, comes away with the puck. He stripped it clean from Spurgeon. Nestrashil along the boards has it knocked away by Vanek. Out to the point. A tip shot by McClement winds up wide. And Koivu there to scoop up the loose puck for Minnesota. The Wild captain into the Carolina zone. Koivu fires. That's wide. And the rebound escapes Pominville and comes out to center ice. Lindholm flips it in. Nate Prosser back to pick it up for Minnesota. Prosser's clearing attempt, intercepted, and Skinner fires wide. Boy, Wild have had a number of turnovers in their own zone here in the second period. Resulted in some great chances for the Hurricanes. Koivu couldn't come up with a loose puck. Skinner at the Minnesota line drops it back. Dubnyk with a save. He's looking for the puck and finally covers and will get a whistle. Minnesota still in front just by 1, 4-3.
Well, last game, Mike Yeo talked about puck management and the fact that he didn't like some circumstances. He's not going to like some of them here as the Wild have a few turnovers that have led to not just chances but goals. This one, and then Scandella will fire this one but not out. It requires a block by Mikko Koivu later on. That is when Lindholm deflected one in and scored, and then just recently this one right here as it gets taken off the stick of Granlund, and Dubnyk had to come up with a save. So there's been plenty of turnovers here by the Wild in their own end, and some have led to goals, and the Wild have to really tighten things up, get some better puck management.
Haven't had many shots themselves lately either. The Hurricanes have 14 of the last 18 shots in this game and actually have outshot the Wild by 1 at this point. Late second period. 4-3 Minnesota. Gerby drops it behind. 7 into the Minnesota zone. Tried a behind the back centering pass for Nash. It was just off target. Vanek poked it ahead. Lost the handle on it at center ice. Fontaine to Granlund. Granlund to Scandella, but he's offside.
Well, puck management is everywhere on the ice. Neutral zone and at the offensive blue line. In that case, Wild just get offside. They've kind of gotten away from their game a little bit. The first period, the Wild dumped the puck in, forechecked hard, created turnovers of their own, and got chances. In the second period, it's been a little bit of the opposite nature and just have not had a consistent nature to their forecheck. They've also had to kill a few penalties, and I think that has probably led to some of the Hurricane momentum.
Ryan Suter back for Minnesota. Brodin comes out of a pileup with the puck. Schrader tips it off the wall and out to neutral ice. Niederreiter able to force his way into the Hurricane zone, but Hainsey's back to pick it up for Carolina. McClement with it. Drops it back in his own zone. Jordan Ahead for Dwyer into the Minnesota zone, stripped away by Niederreiter. And Nino Niederreiter lugs it out for the Wild. Carolina changing. Schrader at center, dumps it in. The Wild will change as well. 2.5 to go in the second period. Minnesota has twice led this game by 3 goals. Right now they lead by 1, 4-3. Sekera to Stahl at the Minnesota line. Back to Falk. Falk has his shot blocked by Scandella. Another one is blocked out front by Koivu. Falk able to hold the zone. Stahl in behind, too far for Jordan Stahl. Two Stahl brothers selected 3 drafts apart. Each of them picked number 2 overall.
Both of them have Stanley Cups. Eric Stahl with the Hurricanes. Jordan Stahl with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Tonight on Fox Sports Live, the best post-fight coverage of UFC Fight Night in Colorado. Which driver began 2015 with a win at the Sprint Unlimited, and the NBA crowns a new dunk contest champion. That's all coming up tonight on Fox Sports Live. Yeah, the Stahls. Eric was drafted number 2 overall in 2003 by Carolina. After Marc-Andre Fleury went number 1 to the Penguins. 3 years later in the 2006 draft, Jordan Stahl went 2nd overall to the Penguins after St. Louis had selected Eric Johnson with the number 1 overall pick. Skinner jumps to control a loose puck into the Minnesota zone. Skinner shot, blocker saved by Dubnyk. Gleason holds the zone. Plays it across. Hurricanes have had the better of the play here for the last half of the second period. Skinner in the corner. Knocked down by Suter. And Suter starts it back for Minnesota. To Erik Haula at center. Haula dumps it in. Brodziak on the forecheck as the Wild change. Final minute of the second period. Canes come to the Minnesota line. Scandella got a stick on it. That prevented a centering pass, and now Granlund has it for the Wild. Granlund flips it all the way down, and as it rolls into Carolina territory, it'll be icing against the Wild with 40.9 left in the period.
Well, I can tell you from our vantage point up here in the press box, I don't know if it translates with the cameras down low, but the shiny ice is down in the Carolina end. That means not a lot of guys have been skating around on it, and it's pretty beat up down in the Wild end. They've spent a heck of a lot of time in the Wild end in this period.
Scandella played it ahead to Vanek, who relays it out. Half a minute to go in the period. Sekera plays it across, and now Stahl at center into the Minnesota zone. Stahl centers. Looking for a tip by Talusti. Sekera holds the zone. His shot deflects to the boards. Vanek and Stahl collide there. Falk holds. Falk looks, goes to Sekera. Back to Falk in the middle. Falk watched by Vanek. His shot was deflected, winds up off the end boards. Fontaine overskated it. Sekera holds. Final seconds of the period. Granlund has him tied up along the boards, and that'll bring us to the horn. And the Wild manages to escape this period with the lead intact, 4-3.
Though an adjustment to be made for the Minnesota Wild. They will have to find the type of game they played in the first, which is not a difficult game, but it's getting the puck deep and forechecking, making those D turn. They did not do that in the second, and they did not have good puck management.
All the contenders in the West are in action tonight. We'll have highlights from around the league, including a big battle in Detroit. First, Kevin Gordon will chat with Carolina defenseman Justin Falk. Justin Falk, a part of the comeback for Carolina. 2 assists so far tonight. Devan Dubnyk stood tall late in the period. He has 17 saves on 20 Carolina shots through 2. And as frustrating as that second period may have been for Minnesota at a couple of different points, bottom line is they start the third with a 1-goal lead on home ice.
Yeah, they're in a good situation right now. Some fresh ice. Maybe a bit of a talking to there. A reminder as to how big this game is, even though it's against the Eastern Conference team that's really not in the picture out there. But for the Wild, this will kind of catapult them into a very, very important road swing against Western Conference teams. And they swept the trip last time. You have to play well on it again, and this is a thing that will kick you into it.
Here's a chance for Zach Parise. Parise in for Minnesota. Save Hudobin, and the rebound swept away by Sekera.
They closed on him.
Parise trying to jam one in with Hudobin down. Koivu trying to keep it alive. Koivu pokes the puck across to Pominville. Pominville for Parise. Trying to go back to Pominville. Parise recovers along the wall. Koivu fires wide. Brodin holds at the point for Minnesota. Koivu has it knocked away by Jordan Staal, who comes to center. Tulosti goes down across the Minnesota line. Eric Staal fires it wide, and the rebound picked up in the corner. Jordan Staal tied up there. Granlund has it for the Wild. Granlund to Suter. And it's tipped at center by Fontaine. Sails up into the crowd.
Well, whenever you need something, you need some extra energy or you need a goal-scoring chance, it always seems to be number 11 right on top of it. Knocks it out of the air, and then he hustles. And it's not to say that this line hasn't been around in this game, but the Vanek, the Granlund and Fontaine line came out with a lot of muster. And now Parise is going to step up as he normally does, along with Pominville and Koivu.
Fontaine in the corner. Granlund over to pick it up for Minnesota. Granlund got one through for Prosser. A long shot. Tipped and then steered aside by Hudobin. Fontaine to Prosser, who holds the zone for Minnesota. Vanek couldn't control it cleanly behind the net. Jordan comes away with it and carries out for Carolina. Skinner backpedals out toward the line, puts on the brakes to avoid Schrader, and now Skinner races ahead. It's knocked down at the Minnesota line by 7. Scandella plays across. Matt Dumba carries ahead. Niederreiter tipped it for Coyle. Hurricanes efficiently out of their zone. They come to center. Simmons' backhand pass intended for Nash was broken up. And Dumba has it for the Wild. Matt Dumba to the Carolina line, and Niederreiter in early. So we get a whistle. Our Bud Light What's on Tap. You mentioned the road trip. It starts on Monday in Vancouver with a battle against the Canucks. Very important road swing for Minnesota with games against the Canucks, Flames, and Oilers. Canucks and Flames, two of the other teams on the bubble in the West.
Yeah, these are games where the Wild are able to play teams that are in close proximity to them. I like the fact that the Wild have days off in between every one of those games. Gives them a bit of a breather and allows them to play the hot goalie.
You look at the teams right now that sit outside the top 3 in the respective divisions. Winnipeg holds the top wild card spot with 66 points. Calgary holds one at 63. Minnesota, Dallas, LA. In all, you've got all 5 of those teams separated by only 6 points in the wild card race. And the Jets have played a few more games than everybody else, so that margin might be even closer in reality. Winnipeg has earned at least 1 point tonight. They're in a shootout in Detroit against the Red Wings right now. Dallas will face Colorado tonight in Denver. They're just underway. Calgary against Vancouver tonight. Brodziak to Veilleux at center. Back to Brodziak. Brodziak centered. Haula scores!
deflection off the skate, but it wasn't kicked. It was off the outside of his skate, I believe, and it just popped up into the air and landed in behind Hudobin. This speed right across, and you can see he was jamming the brakes on as Falk was trying to clear it, and it catches a Minnesota Wild bounce and goes behind Hudobin, and they will review this just because that is what they do. But I think you'll find that this one will stand, and the Wild have regained a 2-goal cushion.
9 games without a point for Erik Haula coming into tonight. And as they review it, this could give Minnesota a 2-goal lead. And a big swing of the game. It's a very quick review.
After review, there's no distinct kicking motion. It's a deflection. We have a good goal.
Now, typically a quick review will uphold what happened on the ice, or the call on the ice, and in this case the referee did signal goal and it was upheld.
So the Wild back in front by 2. Bad news in the playoff race. The Jets have beaten the Red Wings in that shootout in Detroit. Newly acquired Drew Stafford with the shootout clincher for the Jets. Zach Parise in the corner. Leaves it for Spurgeon. Spurgeon threw it off the side of the net. Koivu has it in behind the net. Little jump for the Wild here after the Haula goal. Put them back up by 2. Spurgeon with a long shot on goal and held by Hudobin.
Yeah, the important thing for the Wild here is to find themselves in that end of the ice a lot. That means that they're getting the puck through the neutral zone and finding a way, whether it's dumping in or carrying it in, to get it into the offensive zone and go to work on the forecheck, something they do so well when they're playing as a unit. It was the forecheck right there that caused the deflection off of Haula's skate on a feed across the net. Good depth in this game for the Wild, getting scoring from a lot of different guys. Got a defenseman only scoring his 2nd of the year. You got the newly looked second line, and then of course Haula chips in. So the Wild getting scoring from other than their top line.
Wild don't like this icing whistle. Faceoff will come back into the Minnesota zone. All rights to the broadcast are reserved. Any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, telecommunication to the public, or other unauthorized use of the broadcast without the express written permission of the Minnesota Wild is prohibited. Now you're talking about the depth of scoring. That has not been the case for Minnesota during this stretch. 9-1-2 over their last 12. 7-0-1 since the break. But during that time, it's been almost exclusively their top line, especially since the Zucker injury.
And that's one thing that the Wild will have to continue to get is depth, because there will be teams that have pretty good shutdown defensive pairings and forwards as well, and they will do everything they can to take away that top line with Parise, Koivu, and Pominville, and that's where you have to have someone else adding.
Dubnyk down, makes the stop. Schrader ahead for Niederreiter. Niederreiter with speed into the Carolina zone. Niederreiter trying to work his way around Falk. Never got a shot away. Schrader's centering pass is then intercepted, and the Canes come back the other way. Backhand shot goes well wide. Falk holds the zone. In behind the net, Dwyer catches up with it to the point for Sekera. Sekera watched by Schrader across to Falk. Nestrashil. Falk. Nestrashil. Didn't get much of it. Prosser behind the net for Minnesota. Plays it up the boards. Niederreiter sprawls to tap it out, and he's fortunate that he didn't get called for covering that puck.
It looked like he had. Probably realized at the last second all he needed to do was sweep it.
5.5 minutes into the third. Wild have added to the lead on a goal by Erik Haula. And it's 5-3 Minnesota. Shots even, 22 aside. Minnesota with the upper hand so far here in the third. Jordan Staal in. Has it poked away by Brodin. Tolusti supports for Carolina. Out to the point, Jordan walks around one man, then he's hit by Veilleux in the corner. Puck comes free along the wall. Tolusti, watched by Suter, centered it. Looking for a tip from Staal. He was tied up by Brodin out front. Jordan to Tolusti. Tolusti with a shot. It got through and a pad save by Dubnyk. Sekera circles the net. His centering pass taken away by Brodziak. He plays it off the glass and down. This will be icing against the Wild, and a long shift for the fourth line will continue.
Well, Niederreiter was trying to actually get out of the way of landing on the goaltender. He jumped around him, or at least tried to, and as he came down, he snaps the backstrap off of Hudobin's mask, and Hudobin immediately pulls it off because he knows that the referee at that moment will whistle it down, although it looks like he put his mask back on and waited for the next whistle.
Sekera drops it back to the point. Lindholm gives it to Sekera. Across to Falk. Skinner in the circle has his shot blocked by Brodin. Wild still desperately trying to get it clear so that they can make a change. Haula, Veilleux, Brodziak have been on the ice a long time. Suter flips it out. And it's finally cleared by Veilleux, and Minnesota will get a chance to get a change. Block shots have been the story for Minnesota over these last couple of games when they've been giving up more and more shot attempts. Block numbers were high against Florida. They're high again tonight. Koivu and Pominville battling for a puck along the wall. Rask comes away with it. And the Hurricanes come to center. Rask will dump it in. Dubnyk plays it to the wall. Pominville trying to relay it out. Couldn't get it by Semin. In the corner. Gerby plays to the point. Then it comes out to neutral ice.
Oh, in a battle right now, Gerby. And I think that's Dumba with him.
It's going to be a slashing call against Gerby. He was trying to take Dumba with him. He could not. The Wild will go on the power play next. Our Toyota getting caught up. Thomas Vanek scored the first 2 goals of the game for Minnesota, each coming in the first 8.5 minutes. Nate Prosser extended Minnesota's lead to 4-1 early in the second, but then Carolina came back. Goals by Skinner and Lindholm made it 4-3 after 2. The Wild have added a goal by Erik Haula here in the third, and now they go on the power play with Gerby in the box for slashing, trying to add to a 5-3 lead. Suter to Pominville. Koivu to Parise. Parise to Vanek, back to Parise along the wall. Pominville, gloves and drops. His shot deflects to the corner. Parise's there. Out to the point, Suter. Second power play chance for Minnesota. They didn't score on the first. Suter fires. It was blocked out front and cleared. Suter regroups for Minnesota. Mentioned earlier, the Carolina penalty kill has been very good lately. Second best in the league for the season, and even better over the last 21 games. They've allowed only 2 power play goals. Suter able to push this one across to Pominville. The Wild will regroup once more. Minute 5 of the man advantage as Suter starts ahead. Fires it in from center ice. Falk plays it in behind for Sekera. And the Hurricanes get another clear. This will force the Wild to change their power play attackers as Dubnyk plays it for Suter in his own zone. Granlund, Niederreiter, Coyle up front for Minnesota. Granlund has it poke checked away at the line, and it's pulled in offside by Dumba.
Well, puck was on the blue line, not over the blue line. That's why it was whistled on the offside. Second unit out there, see if they can get something going with what is remaining on this power play.
Draw controlled by Carolina. Half a minute in the man advantage for Minnesota. And they'll have to go the length of the ice as Spurgeon starts ahead for Minnesota. Granlund has it knocked away at the Carolina line, and Dumba is there to pick it up for Minnesota. Matt Dumba takes his time down to 10 in the power play as Spurgeon goes back to Dumba. Dumba able to gain the zone. Granlund on it in the corner. Gerby is about to jump back on the ice. He's back on, and the Carolina penalty killers are successful for the second time tonight. Hainsey in his own zone past the halfway point of the third. Icing waved off as Toulousti's the first man there for Carolina. Stahl has his shot deflect off the end boards. Scandella hustles over. He can't get it out of the zone either. Now Veilleux finally does, and the Wild come to center. They have numbers at the Carolina line. Howlett tried to get one back across to Veilleux. Veilleux plays it around behind the net, but the only man there is Sekera for Carolina. Toulousti hits the Minnesota line. Into the corner, Stahl. Out to the point. Sekera fires, pad save. Dubnyk with a lot of traffic in front of him. That was one of the points of emphasis for Carolina tonight. Coach Bill Peters said we've been having so much trouble scoring goals. We got to get more physical in the offensive zone. Get more of a presence in front of the net, and we've seen that a couple of times tonight.
They have crowded the net a little bit. Dubnyk continues to find pucks through crowd, making the save.
Seven pulled it in with the skate. It's offside. We have a whistle.
What's the camaraderie of everyone here rooting for the same team?
I just like how, all the excitement and everything.
Scoring goals. Yeah, you get to shoot, score. It's really fun.
It kind of puts you off the edge of your seat sometimes.
I love the atmosphere.
Go Wild.
Atmosphere has been good here tonight. A full house, 19,200 plus at the Xcel Energy Center tonight. And they've seen the Wild lead throughout. It's 5-3 right now. They scored first with just a minute 15 gone by in the first period. They've had leads as big as 3 a couple of times. Trying to get 5 wins in a row on home ice, 6 out of 7. Dubnyk plays it up the boards. Fontaine has it there for Minnesota. Granlund comes away with the puck just inside the Carolina line. Has it knocked in behind the goal. Lyles sends it in behind the net, takes a return pass, and starts ahead for Carolina. Suter has his man tied up in the corner. Suter's stick broken on the play. Can't figure out why there wasn't a slashing call on this one.
Well, he pleaded for one, held his 2 broken halves up in the air, and the referees elected to let it go.
Parisi plays it in behind for Koivu. Koivu tried to center Parisi. Finds it in his skates, goes to the point to Brodin, across to Scandella. Scandella to Pominville, back to Scandella, a shot that goes off the glass. Hurricanes come to center. Nestrashil into the Minnesota zone. Scandella reverses it back to Brodin in the corner. Pominville deflects it, but not out of the zone. Now Brodin gains control for Minnesota, And the Wild able to play it back in. Falk for Jordan Staal into the Minnesota zone. Tied up by Schrader, drops to the point, and Falk with a drive. Dubnyk knocked down, he's still down and makes the save.
Never seen a totem pole save before. He was just laying there. Oh my. He got knocked down, he was expecting some kind of a call, it did not come. And he laid there and made the save. You know, things are going well for you when you can lay back and still stop the puck. Staal was all over him. You talked about the coach mentioning net front presence and everything. Well, he was almost on the other side of him.
I don't think the pads are intended to be used pointing at the ceiling.
Well, he didn't even have the snow angel going there. He just had a looked like he was relaxed there, laying in a hammock.
Gerby around to Sekera, and Semin has it at center, knocked down by Charlie Coyle. Semin bumped by Coyle, got the puck into the zone, but Niederreiter flips it, and it was deflected. So we will get a neutral zone draw. Jimmy John's delivery of the game.
Well, I love the deliveries that Fontaine made. He delivers this into the zone, then he creates havoc so that it's turned over, and Granlund fires it over, and then this is just a direct delivery to Vanek, and he puts it home. So it's a good game for him to step up into that line. Mike Yeo recognized his forechecking ability, his tenacious nature, and love to be around the puck, and good game for him, helping set a couple plays up.
Suter. And now Staal out to the point. A shot deflects to the corner. Stahl's the first man there, watched by Brodin. Staal trying to work his way to the middle. Brodin got a stick on it. Hainsey with a shot. More traffic on top of Dubnyk. And the Wild come away with the puck. Suter played it ahead to Brodziak. His pass too far for Veilleux. And the Hurricanes gain control. Hainsey sends it back through neutral ice. Jordan into the Minnesota zone. Skinner drops for Staal. A shot. That hit Jordan out front of the net. Both teams change. Hurricanes pressing a bit. Down 2 here in the third. Vanek flips it up in the air, hoping Granlund can run under it. Granlund will be offside on the play. Hurricanes clear to center. Lindholm for Skinner. Prosser ducks underneath them. Came away with the puck. Prosser through neutral ice and all the way down. This will be icing against the Wild. Big night tonight for Justin Fontaine. Let's check in with Kevin Gord.
Yeah, guys, I had a conversation with Justin this morning about that versatility he brings to the table, moving around on the lines. And he said, you know, I put on a high-end line in college, so I have no problem thinking offense when we get in the offensive zone and attack and cycle the puck. With my speed, I have to do a good job defensively. I feel good lines 2 through 4, being just a solid defensive guy that can take care of business. He doesn't mind playing the physical game. He says, I know I'm not a big guy, but I don't mind getting in the way and going to the corners. And it showed last year at a valuable time for the Minnesota Wild, and hopefully this year, with some players out, it can happen again.
He's been a versatile player. He's scored on any line he's been on. And that shows a guy that's willing to work. He didn't just arrive in the National Hockey League out of college. He had to work his way up here with a few years in the minors, where he had to do much of the same. Work his way up through the lineup.
Mentioned earlier he was a teammate of Justin Falk on that national championship team. He played on maybe college hockey's best line that year with Mike Connolly and Jack Connolly. 58 points in that senior season for Fontaine. Parise to Pominville. Trying to go back to Parise. He spins away from a hit. Back to Spurgeon. In behind the net, Pominville. Koivu trying to work free out front. Pominville protects the puck, plays it back in. Parise has his man tied up. Koivu trying to dig it loose. And the puck rolls not out of the zone. Good job to hold it by Spurgeon.
Good physical play.
Parise to Pominville. A shot saved by Hudobin.
Parise's just been banging into guys this entire shift.
Parise just does hold, but then it's cleared by Skinner. And with 3.5 to go, Brodin Backpedals into his own zone. Jared Spurgeon starts it back for Minnesota. Across to Coyle. Coyle into the offensive zone. Coyle works out front. Loose puck comes free. And the Hurricanes come to center. Stahl for Tolusti. Back to Eric Stahl, taken away by Suter. Around the wall and all the way down. It'll be icing against Minnesota with 3:01 remaining.
A good physical shift by Parise, and when he gets pushed, he pushes back and is able to finally gain the puck and get this good shot. See the pads locked down there by Hudobin, but briefly there was a spot 5-hole as the stick came up. Pominville has goals in his last 3 games.
Empty net for Carolina with 3 minutes left. Down by 2. Semin tried to center. Schrader got it to the line. Jordan's able to hold. Nestrashil along the boards to Jordan. Long shot, got through, saved Dubnyk, and the rebound winds up in the corner. Dubnyk been flopping around a little bit here in the third, but he's so far kept every puck out. Gerby. Jordan. Nestrashil. Watched by Niederreiter. 2:20 to play. Semin. Pestered a bit by Scandella. Semin takes a look into the corner. Now to the point. Hainsey to Semin. And back in. Nestrashil in the corner. Recovers a puck along the wall. Takes a bump from Charlie Coyle. A long shot off the end wall. And Dubnyk covers to get a whistle. Just inside 2 minutes remaining. Empty net for Carolina with Minnesota in front 5-3. And for a preview of Wild Live, let's find Jamie Hirsch.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, we have lots to break down next on Wild Live, presented by CenturyLink. Wes Walsh is going to join me here at the set, and we'll talk about the second line surging tonight. Of course, a big part of that was Justin Fontaine. We'll also look at the balanced attack overall for Mike Yo's club and hear from the head coach with some player reaction if the Wild can hang on here, guys.
Jamie, a couple of big goals early by Thomas Vanek. A big goal late by Eric Haula. Parise at the empty net. He scores! And Minnesota extends the lead to 3.
Early goaltender pull, but the Carolina Hurricanes had to do something drastic. But it didn't work. Parise just finds the net. You see how he found that red line? Makes a smart play. You know that if he'd have been pressured earlier, he'd have made a little chip off the wall and not tried it. But he gains the red line, and then he goes for the open net so that if he misses, there's no harm, no foul. Smart player, and Wild have that 3-goal lead again.
23rd of the year for Parise. His 9th in the last 13 games. The Wild will move to 10-1-2 over those 13. And not surprising to see Parise be right in the middle of it. Brodziak and Spurgeon assist on the clinching goal for Parise into the empty net. Minnesota will make it 5 wins in a row on home ice and 6 out of their last 7. You remember when they were trying to get their traction and Mike Yeo kept talking about how they had to find a way to get back to dominating on home ice and taking advantage of the edge they have in this building.
Yeah, there has to be a bit of a fear, at the very least, for teams coming into your building.
Dubnyk with a save. Puck cleared to center by Scandella. And remember, the streak after the All-Star break started with Minnesota heading into Western Canada. Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver. And how different it will feel starting that trip this time with the Wild on the roll that started with 3 wins in those 3 cities.
Well, they had to. and now it's going to be more of want to and need to as they try to continue to climb up. You got teams around them winning, but they keep winning too.
2 points for the Wild tonight. Devan Dubnyk, another victory on home ice. 2 goals for Thomas Vanek. He's our 10th star of the game.
Yeah, 3-point night, big night for him in that line. They really played well together, and you gotta love it when you put players together and they show that they can find each other out there on the ice. It was all started by the forecheck that they were able to put up. Fontaine, a big part of that as well.
Jamie, most important are the 2 points the Wild gain in the standings on a night where Winnipeg has already won. The Wild maintain their position within striking distance.
A great night for the Wild, and we'll break it down next on Wild Live. We'll tell you about the balanced attack to lead the way. 12 different players in the Wild sweater with a point tonight, and Thomas Vanek with 3 of them. We'll get some player reaction and hear from the head coach all next on Wild Live.